I discovered that there are things online that we can get engaged with that can actually help us. Either you want, for those who are looking for a job, I made a post day before yesterday, and that is true. If you are a graduate, you're a graduate, and all you do for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years is running here and there, doing I beg to apply. You're looking for a job every now and then. No, I advise, there is opportunity. Look inward, come closer, go online. There are opportunities. And the interesting thing about this digital age is that you don't have to, there are jobs that you can start, you can create something on your own. You can come up with something and it becomes a job. So we can't stay with no job, not for graduates and where there is digital. And I will prove it. I will show us from some of the things that I'll be sharing with us. I will show. So, and that's what I'm just going to do. Then just looking at the time. So I'm just going to briefly talk about wealth creation through digital technology. I'll just briefly talk about it before we guess, because I know that we have 2 hours for everything we need to do. So I'll just briefly share this, and then we'll bring in our guests. And then, like I said, we have some of these trainings, some of these teachings, some of this talk on our website. So let's move. Now, look at the statistics. According to the report from different research organizations, digital economy is expected to hit $23 trillion by 2025. That is, and you can consider that how many people using laptop, using phone, using this, and consider different transactions, different businesses, different engagement going on online. And that is what you think about to confirm that this report is actually true. So then the Global Industry Vision, the GIV 2025 report revealed that the number of personal smart devices will reach 40 billion, and the total number of connections around the world will reach 100 billion, creating a digital economy worth that $23 trillion. So this is big, this is large. So you can't see this and not find out how it's going to happen, how you can have your cut from the market estimate. The global digital transformation market size is anticipated to reach $999.8 billion by 2025 from $468.8 billion in 2020. So you can see the level that things are. That's like 16.5%. Demand for digital transformation service is going to rise at a compound annual growth rate of around 16.5% over the forecast period from 2021 to 2025. These statistics, they should challenge us that there is opportunity. And say in 2025, 14% of all sales in Nigeria are forecast to be conducted over the internet by use of electronic systems. On the other hand, mobile shopping would account for 75% of online shopping activities in Nigeria in the said year. And that again is telling you about our other business logistics. Anywhere, like I say in our previous session, that anytime there is e-commerce, logistics, there's going to be logistic problem, and that becomes logistic business. The global data advertising market reached a value of nearly $374.2 billion in 2020. The market is expected to grow to $763.6 billion in 2025 at a rate of 15.3%. And that's why I said content creators have opportunity. We still don't have enough content creators, because adverts don't thrive without content, without those those content, you see the skits and all those things. There has to be engagement for content to come on them. So if you are a skit maker, you have something you do, you are a creator in a way, one way or the other, you have opportunity. Or you know you are gifted, you are talented, you are not there online, it's an opportunity for you to maximize the power of digital and showcase your product, showcase that which you have. So what are the three ingredients? The first ingredient is information. Like I keep saying it, the age we are is the digital age, is the age of information. We cannot but get information. So information is number one ingredient that is going to help us. Now, this information is not about, now you have to understand there is a difference between education and certification. This is not about I go to school, have certificates. It's no more about that. You have to really get it, get the information, know what is going on, make discovery, ask questions, and seek for knowledge. So because it's the first ingredient. And then the second one is commitment. It will need your time. The other times you do for other things, spend time, go to Google. Google teach lots of things. It needs you to stay online to learn. It needs you to ask questions. It needs your commitment. You have to be committed to it. That's the way I've seen this thing. And by the commitment to what we do in Empower Africa project, I can see even the way we move from one stage to another, one step at a time, and we can actually see the progression. So you need to be committed. If you can be committed, you will have results. Many of the skit makers you talk about, they started small, and today you can see what they are doing. You, in your very own eyes, you can see, you know when they started, and you yourself can actually tell the level they had today. And that is to tell you that there's opportunity for you, and so it needs you to be committed. See, you must take it like when you have a shop, you wake up in the morning, you go to shop and come back in the evening. Same way you have to take the digital business. Oh, the same way you look for money to get shop, to rent a shop, to rent an office, the same way you need to get money to run ads, to do the to buy necessary premium packages, to get yourself equipped. The same way. And the interesting thing is that you get better results if you put the same amount you put into physical businesses or physical transactions into online dealings. You will get multiple return, multiple results of whatever you are doing. My screen keeps going. What's going on? Please kindly give me 100 if you can see my screen. I want to be sure that we are communicating. I want to be sure that we are there. I want to really carry people along. Okay, thank you. So commitment is key. Then collaboration. You see, this is not the time that it is only me and me alone, and it's all my business. That you must collaborate with other people. You must collaborate with other ventures. In fact, for you, there are so many things that you should come together to do. If you guys are, if you are in the same area, you are talented in different things, bring them together and make them happen. Let me look at some of the collaboration I'm talking about in e-commerce. Okay, you can always, someone has a store, he doesn't know about how to design website. You know how to design website. He cannot pay you for designing website, but you can agree. Then someone has a bike, that can become a logistic personnel. So something like that. Oh, someone can talk, it can be the marketing. You form a team, you form a group, and you make things happen. Just imagine, there's no e-commerce without logistics, there's no e-commerce without marketing. So someone can handle the digital marketing, someone can handle just agree and work on things together and make things happen. And before you know it, your business will go viral. And then again, collaboration. I thought about people coming together in YouTube. I mean, agree on the skits, agree on content, and push together, work together. And that's another collaboration. And we have to collaborate with Nigerians when we have our people producing, making or creating content. Let's encourage them. Let's subscribe. Learn to subscribe to YouTube channels. Learn to give them watch hour. This is what is going to help them to continue. So subscribe to YouTube channels of our people. When people come up, when they are blessing you, you are not giving them money, but the only way you can give them back is subscribe to their YouTube channel, subscribe, like them on now. Facebook has monetization. Find the way, whatever that is being required to contribute. That's collaboration. Give the watch hour online, encourage them. The more they're able to do, the more they again have a way of extending to others. So let's work together. And then in Facebook, I talk about the same way you collaborate, you agree with people, you push. Let's push ourselves. Let's help ourselves up. It's going to help. Africans, we can't stay aloof. We must come support others. So, and then new internet business opportunities are just, like I said, I just want us to know that there are opportunities. So that's why I'm just taking us through. We have these videos complete that you can see that and learn on your own. And number one, internet service business. Now, internet service business is available in you can, if you have an uncle that has money, or your parent, or what you are, and you can provide internet service for community, for estate, for a town, for a city, for or whichever way, it's a business that you can go to, and you can become the MSMEs package. You can go for MSMEs package and for internet supply. Then we have a website hosting business. Business of Africa, we started from buying hosting plans, but today then we moved to becoming a reseller, hosting plans, and then today we have our own hosting companies. We host all our websites. You don't have to start with that, but you can get there. Now we have our hosting company today. We can host at least host up to 1,000 businesses right now, and we can always expand as we have numbers, which we are going to. We target to onboard 20 million businesses across Africa within the range of 5 years. We want to onboard 20 million businesses, and we want to train and empower 2 million digital marketers. And these digital marketers are people who you are just a potential entrepreneur. We get you trained, give you the premium training you need, and good to go, and you work with Business of Africa, on remote. It's something wonderful. So because there's opportunity there. So next one is web design. You can learn web design. We're coming up again with another online web design training that people can sign up. You learn web design, you can design website, you make money doing that. It's a good business because more companies we need. Just imagine more companies we need website. 40 million, we say more than 40 million SMEs in Nigeria alone, and more than 200 million across Africa. So you see the opportunity. Companies we need, organization we need website. Digital marketing business, I just talked about that. It's a good one that you can go into. Online referral business. Now there are so many online referral businesses going on. There are some that you gain free, there are some you pay token to sign up, and different ways. People are making it big doing online referral. You can make it. And online affiliate business. Referral is you refer someone and you are being paid for referring a certain percentage. Affiliate is you pick someone's product, you pick a link of product to sell on their behalf, and you are being paid for every time someone buys on that platform on the internet. You are being paid for it. You can look for that. There are so many affiliate companies. There are so many companies around that. Online sales and services. You can basically on your own go and be buying products and be reselling, selling clothes, selling this. You can sell anything. You can even, interestingly, you can agree with the people that have the product, and you can easily resell for them. Then, an online tutorial class. You have opportunity. Yeah, the interesting that you can take one subject and you make it. I know people who make it teaching or just English alone. Even you can take language. You can take commerce, whatever you are doing, you can make it online, just teaching. Because we are talking about number. Right now, we are talking about 1.7 billion people online at a particular moment. And just think of the numbers like that. So you have your market. So online tutorial class, you will make it big. The coding, IoT, and artificial intelligence, of course, that is another another thing. And then it's the commonwealth in internet, because we need more of it. More of it are coming now. 5G. 5G is going to ride on this, and or this riding, they are together. So we have 5G coming out, and it's going to really drive artificial intelligence. So if you are there, it's a good deal for you. That is worth for you. And then drop shipping. Drop shipping is that a company produces product, they have the product. Now, what you do, you pick the product on their website, you have your own website, you pick the product on their website, you put on your website. When someone places order, the person pays you, but the shipping is direct to the person that paid. So what it means that's drop shipping. If you are not the owner of the product, it's another company that has the product, but what you do is that you go to agree with that company, there's an amount that they pay you. So when you pick a product from that company, you put it on your website, another person see the product on your website and pick the product and paid you. So you now pay the company, and the shipping, when you are filling the shipping, you are filling the shipping direct to that person that made the payment. That's how drop shipping works. So it's a good business that you can do. And also content creator. So apart from just for YouTube, Facebook, you can be a regular content creator as blogger. You can be empowering people with different write-ups, and you make your money there. You can do that for companies. You can do that for some large data companies, data marketing, and you make your returns. You can help in storytelling and what have you. Logistics and warehouse. I've said it over and over that once the more e-commerce is growing, the more logistics and warehousing will grow, because we need warehousing where product within states, within community, within region will be, and then we need delivery. So logistics and warehousing, they are businesses that they will be growing more and more. So they are opportunity for you. The digital skills training services. Just imagine what I'm doing. I do lots of things. I want youth. I need to see people who want to take up digital skills training. I always say, look, I'm ready to put you through. We need more people that will teach, because the interest is that this generation, we can't stay without digital skills, and you have to learn it. So we need people who will be teaching. Now, we need people who will be teaching the users. So many apps are out, so many devices, people don't know how they, in fact, Nigerians have not maximized 25% of digital. That's the truth. You see people carrying phone, and on the phone they carry, there are lots of functions, they don't even go there. They don't even know what to do with it. And we have you on the street as a graduate, you are carrying a certificate up and down looking for a job. 100 people around you don't know how to use their phone, and you don't know that is business for you. Just imagine if you become an agency in that line, that you can easily train people how to use their phone, how to maximize their phone, come up with packages, and they pay you for it. So we need this. We need this. We need people to come into digital spaces. I mean, there are lots of opportunity. So you can be doing handling trainings. Look at it. See all our secondary schools. We need people that will be going to secondary schools, that will be taking digital skills apps, that will be able to teach them from secondary school to secondary school. The same way, not just about computer training or music. The same way you teach them music, you teach them digital skills. Let's teach them how to use Canva. Let's teach them how to. And interestingly, Canva has free pro for schools, but schools are not maximizing it. If you have a registered school, you have Canva is available for you to use for free and pro, and they expect you to enroll your students to be part of it, to train them for free. So there are opportunities for us. So if the schools don't know, I expect some of our young guys to pick up this and go to school and find a way to agree with schools, bring them on Canva Pro, and so many platforms, so many apps like that are ready to work with school, for school to make money, the guys to get to become entrepreneurs. These things are there. So we need digital skills trainers. Online event management, that's another business. You can manage people's events. You can when I do some of my programs, like what I'm doing now, so many people don't know how it happens. How can they carry it out? You can learn this process. It's simple. You spend your time to learn how do they put it on Eventbrite? How do they put it on Facebook? How do they now put it on, what is web conferencing? When you say webinar, what is webinar? How did you stage webinar? How do you do? I mean, when you get that ready, so many organizations, they need someone who can be organizing them for them, and then manage the attendees, who will be able to manage the attendees, collect the data, and put the programs in order for them. That's another business for you. Just imagine hundreds, thousands of millions of companies that will need your service just for you to be putting all this. Oh, they want to do staff week, they want to do this, to put something together, online events management, customer week, and what have you. How many of us approach companies, they pass customer week, that let's put something together for your customers, and online and things like that. These are opportunities for us. Let's wake up. Innovation, wake up. This is where to collect your money. It's in innovation. When I say wake up, collect your money, collect the money from innovation. The digital is there for us to collect our money. It's there for us. So let's wake up and maximize it. Let's wake up and maximize it. And then again, I'll say there is Amazon trading. Can you become Amazon trader or eBay sellers? This is available for you. Go online and make research. Like I told us that Google is a great teacher. You can discover so many things around this. Then as well, we have creative arts businesses in Nigeria, and you can bring your creative arts online. You can train online your creative arts, whatever you do in the creative sector. You can bring them online. You can work on all of them. You can be able to make things happen doing that. You can be able to make things happen doing that. So, and also crypto trading. See, we're having a conference coming up on the 25th, Crypto Wealth Summit. Crypto is, some people say gambling. Crypto is not gambling. Crypto is really, you have to understand that we are talking about digital currency. So we have a summit coming up, and I'm going to be sharing that for as many who want to learn about crypto. You can contact me. I do crypto and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying crypto, and you can also enjoy it. I trade. So you can learn more of all these things if you go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/c or EA Project TV. You get there, you can learn some of all these things, and we have many of these coming up. And of course, we have a business opportunity, but for you to start this business opportunity with AfCFTA project, I told us about the mentorship. If you sign up for our mentorship program, you have access into some of the businesses we have. Trust me, that's why we call that mentorship project Zero to Wealth Digital Billionaires Training and Mentorship Program. So I mean, it's there, and you can really enjoy it. So you have a WhatsApp. You can, of course, this Empower AfCFTA project WhatsApp number, so you can contact and we can talk more about it. So without wasting time, we have a guest in the house. So please, if you have any question for me, I'm going to go through the question. I don't want to delay us. Just drop your question in the chat room. I will I'll go through the questions, and I'll come back to attend to all the questions, and trust me, we're going to do that. So, but without wasting time, I want us to move into the next session, because we already have our guest waiting. There, Mr. Femi Williams is the CEO of New Waves Ecosystem. New Waves Ecosystem. You can see, I'm sure you enjoy the platform you're using. Connect is indigenous. Connect.com is indigenous. Is what is our own, and of course, New Wave is the owner of Connect. So we have him joining us. So, Mr. Femi, sir, are you ready? And let's have you, sir. So, actually, I've taken out. I know he was supposed to start with us 12.
Hello, so Blessed. Good day. How are you, sir?
Oh, okay, sir. So,
greetings to everybody in the house.
Do you have your slides, sir? You can bring it up.
Yes, please. So make me a presenter.
Okay. Okay, you are not a presenter, sir.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I know it's been like 3 days continuous session, and today is supposed to be the last day, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I congratulate all of you for this session. I was in the house yesterday and I participated. I was with you when the presenter on bookkeeping and the domain name registration guy made his presentation. It was interesting. I also learned a couple of things myself. So congratulations, Blessed, and everyone. I greet you.
Thank you, sir.
I'm about to talk on a topic that is interesting, and almost everybody that is running business love it. Everybody that really desire progress is afraid of not doing it, because we all know that the world is changing. Running business, the strategies of running business is changing. Competitive landscape is changing. There was a time when you hear of competition, what you'll be hearing is competition between Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Okay, but these days you are going to be hearing competition between Coca-Cola and Zobo, right? Somebody actually did a research that we drink more Zobo than Coca-Cola in Nigeria today, you know. So competition is changing, direct and indirect, you know. Some people will have thought Zobo can never be a competition to Coke, but alas, they are actually giving Coca-Cola a big run for their money. And technology is disrupting everywhere. So any business that is not thinking about digitalization is probably doing so at his or her own peril. Can you see my slides? So I'm going to be toggling between, because I'm also trying to look at people in the online. So can anybody say yes? Can you see my screen now? For those of you online, I'm also watching you. Can you see my screen? I guess you should be seeing it. Okora for Christian. I could see that you have been chatting. Okay, let me try and continue because I've got only 1 hour. From New Waves Ecosystem. We're a leading IT company in Nigeria. We believe in local content, and we have created the platform called Connect, the one we are using now. So let me start by asking this major question. You must have heard of things like process optimization. Some people call it digitization. Some people call it digital transformation. Some people call it business process reengineering. Some people call it digitalization. And some people just simply say paperless office. I don't know what this word, they are buzzwords loaded in meaning. What do they mean to you? Unfortunately, it's not an highly interactive session, so we cannot ask you questions directly. But please put your comment. I'll be looking at it from time to time. Let me take you through some definitions. When you talk of digitization, you mean process of creating a digital representation of a physical object or attributes. For example, you have paper, you scan it and you save it in your computer. That is digitization. You have your music on CD, you move it into a cloud space. It's some form of digitization in itself. While digitalization is the use of digital technologies to change a business model and provide new revenue and value producing opportunities. I mean, using digital technologies to make businesses achieve its aim. So if the aim of every business is to make revenue and to give additional value to customers. In other words, when you digitalize and when you change your business model and things does not work as better as good as it was before, that digitalization exercise is a failure. And on top of that is what we call digital transformation. Now, digital transformation in its own case is business transformation that is enabled by digitalization. In other words, you look at your business and you look at, and I will tell you some framework, why do you need to, what the processes, what you need to do before you digitalize. They are all in my slides. So business transformation is to enable your business using digitalization. In other words, you digitize various components or all, the entire business, because it's possible to digitize the entire business, all right? Yeah. So usually digital transformation provides organization with opportunity to reimagine the way their businesses is run through new digital processes and tools. And you also will agree with me that every day, new, easier to use, even free, like Blessed mentioned just now, the tools, there are a lot of digital tools that are now available cheaply. Some background or some statistics, let me take you through this. We've gone through various industrial revolutions. Industry 1.0 is when mechanization, steam power, weaving loom started. And Industry 2 is when assembly lines are created. Because there is now energy, industries are created and assembly lines are created where if you have a 20 process and production, you will automate small processes and you put it in an assembly line. So like imagine you are manufacturing a Toyota vehicle. At the beginning, the frame will come on the assembly line. When it moves forward, all right, tire will be slotted in. When it moves forward, door will be slotted in, glass will be slotted in, chairs, I mean the seat inside the vehicle, and so on, it will go until it gets to the end. Industry 3.0 came with automation, and that was when computers get into business, okay? And we now start to have automation and intelligence, built into production. And what we have today is cyber-physical systems and Internet of Things and networks. You know that the internet, the way it was made, was for me to communicate with you, and like we are using it now, persons to person. So I'm talking to my computer is talking to some remote computer somewhere, so the computer is talking to some remote computer somewhere, and ultimately you are hearing me wherever you are from your computer. If you say a word, it will go through the same process. Now, it is now possible for things to talk to things. In other words, you can have your refrigerator with artificial intelligence and microprocessor, and you have set the reordering level for milk. So once you are taking the milk, immediately it gets to 20%. The refrigerator itself is intelligent enough to place an order with Ebano or with Jumia, and Jumia will deliver another milk at the right time. So the future of production is about dark factory. There are what they call dark factory are factories where there are no human beings. What they find there is robots. And even when robot has faults, there's another robot that will go and repair that robot. So there are now dark factories that are being created where there are no human being. The whole assembly line is robots. We also have in future production robots and cobots. Now where no robot is using systems or electromechanical device called robots. Sometimes they look like human beings, sometimes they don't. Okay, cobot is human being and machines and robots working together. It's very, very popular in the pharmaceutical industry. Manufacturing a drug, okay, can be automated. You can get machines to do it, the manufacturing. But the quality assurance, the law requires that a human being must sign it. that it has followed a particular processes and quality, because the certificate of that person must be online. Therefore, human being and robots do work together in a cobalt environment. The next one is 3D printing. This is also going to revolutionize things, because there are printers that can print anything. We've seen demonstration of a whole house being printed. In other words, the concrete, the cement are mixed into the robot head, and it will be printing like desktop printing in those days. Okay, it will be printing and it will manufacture the whole house. In pharmaceutical, you can, if you want to take Panadol now, you can, once the active reagent is in the machine, can actually produce it from Panadol I'm going to take now. And if I stop using Panadol, I want to take another drug, it's going to manufacture and print it there on demand. It's still experimental, but it's going to change the way businesses are done. Predictive maintenance is now available because of artificial intelligence and machine learning. Systems themselves can know that. It's like somebody saying, oh, God bless it, I'm going to have malaria tomorrow, you know. So you start to prepare things. Machines can predict when faults will come because they have intelligence now. Then there's Internet of Things, machine-to-machine discussion, all right, where machines are trained, intelligent enough to take decisions on their own. And the good part of it is that even if their decision is wrong, they learn, you know, every day they learn new things, and the decision accuracy increases and improves with time. And then the third one is sustainable product and processes, where environmentally friendly production is encouraged. So the world is changing rapidly, and then remote work is also becoming a must. Now, transformation and changes are usually difficult things, because they say the only thing that is constant in life is changes. Okay, so transformation and changes are very difficult. If they are difficult, then digital transformation is much more difficult. And the reason is that the number of connected devices worldwide is far more than the number of human beings on Earth. In 2018, there are 22 billion devices. And I'm not talking of mobile devices alone. Now, we now have fridges, we have a lawnmower, right, that predicts, that knows that, hey, my brake is going to go bad tomorrow, so that the machine itself will order a new brakes, right? And also, by 2025, it's predicted that there will be 38 billion devices that will be talking to each other, or potentially can talk to one another on the surface of the earth. Don't forget that we have about 7 billion people. And by 2030, there's going to be like 50 billion devices. These numbers are staggering and are very, very scary. Okay, let me go to the next slide. Okay, so there are two categories of business. There is the digital native businesses. Those are businesses that are conceived, that are operated, and are managed digitally. In other words, the owner of the business from day one have digital management, digital operation, and digital services in mind. And many of them, even from day one, starts in a paperless operation. While digital converts are businesses that are converting their operation. In other words, when the business are conceived, they don't even believe or they don't have an idea of how digital transformation will get into it. So they have to, over time, convert. So the question is, which business are you running? How many entrepreneurs has digital content or digital operations in mind when they are doing their innovation? It's very, very difficult, and there are not many. So we find a lot of businesses are in digital convert world. And digital transformation usually begins with these three fundamental questions. Some school of thought believe that we should first look for what before we ask why, or before we ask how, right? Some people believe it should be why before what and how. This is my own preference. I think we need to first look at the business, because if you look at my right-hand side, I said everything can be transformed in every business, but then everything cannot be transformed now. Because everything cannot be transformed now, we need to look at prioritizing what is important. All right. So we need to ask, why do we need to transform? Because if your manual process is working very well and efficiently, and the customers are delighted and happy, and you are delighted and happy, you are producing optimally, there's no problem, why do you need to transform it? So you need to ask that critical question of why. Then after you understand why you should do the transformation, then the next major question is what? What do we need to transform, and what do we need to transform now? Okay, because you cannot do everything in day one. You have to even prioritize how you go about the transformation journey. And then the third question is, how are we going to do the transformation? Are we going to shut down the company for 3 months and then do all the transformation before we bring it up? Are we going to affect our customer in a good way or in a bad way? Are we going to, because we want to transform this building where I am, usually most likely we will have to pack everything from our office and leave until the transformation ends before we bring our chairs and tables and office activity back. Can businesses afford this? So we need to worry and work about this. What are the drivers, things that are making digital transformation important now? The first one is the importance of customer acquisition and retention. Whatever business you are doing, customers have a lot more choices now than they used to have. So if you cannot delight the customer, they have the next shop to go to. Okay, so it's becoming very important to digitalize how you acquire customers and how to retain them. For us in Nigeria, organizations like Junior, organizations like the banks, they've helped us to allay the fears of people who are afraid of doing online transactions. Now, almost everybody is comfortable to some level with online transactions. JAMB is now done online. Okay, bank, the day you open your account, they give you a mobile app. Okay, you have to go and collect your cash through an ATM. Okay, some kind of online transaction. Okay, Jumia, you have to order online. And so a bit of onlineness is not strange to us in Nigeria, and a lot more people want it. I painted this one in red, which is the cost control. We know how important, how high the cost of things have gone up. Diesel, rent, taxes, even taxes have been increased to 7.5%. Labor is also increasing tremendously. Transportation is increasing. So if every business needs to find a way to reduce costs. So if your business is not a shop, or a front-end shop or manufacturing where employees must come, why not give them tools and let them work from their house? For our office, I'm the only old man that goes to the office almost every day. Many other staff don't come at all. Why do they need to come? Programmers don't need to come to the office. They work from their houses. Okay, we need to control cost. And because of that, you need to give digital tools for the employees to do their work anywhere they are in the world. COVID came and it also taught us some lessons. Some of the lessons is that remote work. There's no business in Lagos or Nigeria today that does not have a bit of online, though people are reversing it now, but remote online devices. I mean, online work. And if people must work online, then you also have to tolerate remote devices, because people will be using or accessing your network from their phones, from their house. That phone does not belong to your business. It belongs to the employee, all right? And sometimes they will not use their own. A wife will use his husband's phone to access the office network, okay? So the need to provide access to remote devices and remote people is very, very important. Also, importance of data insights for decision-making. We know that data is very, very important. If you take any decision based on available data, the chances that you're going to be right is much more higher than if you are just using your insight or instinct, right, to make decisions. The struggle of keeping up with competition. So competition in your industry are not going to be sleeping. So if they're automating and digitizing their businesses and you are not, you are going to be left behind. The importance of talent acquisition and retention. Now, we were trying to employ some programmers recently. Guess what? We interviewed like 13 people. And what they asked for, can anybody guess? They wanted to do full-time remote work. In other words, a lot of employees want flexible working time. They want to work when they are comfortable. They want to work from where they are, not move, from home to office every day. Okay. And for me, I also learned recently that I'm more productive at night. So if you had sat me down in the office and said, produce this proposal, I may struggle with it. But if I sleep and wake up at 2 o'clock, between 2 and 6, I'm very, very productive. Okay. So if somebody had given me that kind of flexibility of working anytime I'm productive, you realize that I'll be a shining employee. But if I've been forced to come to work, all right, I will struggle. and it is the same me. So demand for flexible working by employees is rising. And then the challenges caused by organization silos. Gone are the days when there's account department, there's HR department, there is a marketing department, and they fight all the time because the data in account is different from the account. The data the marketing people are holding is different from the one the production people are holding. And all these things doesn't make for progress in organization. And then the need to also attract buyers is becoming thing. There was a time when anybody create business. The purpose is to make the business grow and keep on growing, build to last. But we now find a lot of people now build business for purpose of selling it. So they will build a business, achieve success rapidly, all right, and then sell the product, the business. That's their goal. So research shows that 60% of customers will abandon a brand altogether after one bad experience. This thoughtful question, like this is a typical organization. Which one of these cannot be digitalized? Can you not digitalize, or can you digitize or digitalize customer experience management, customer interaction, management of channels through which you serve your customer, the entire account and finance, customer insight, that is, can you guess what the fashion will demand at the next season, right? The next season, Nigeria is Harmattan season. Can we guess what kind of fashion Nigerian consumer will demand? Okay. Customer record keeping. You did this one of the training yesterday. Keeping record. Can you digitalize it? Training. Can you digitalize your training? Now you are doing this training now. Do you know that this session is being recorded on YouTube, right? And because it's recorded on YouTube, you can access it anytime you like it. So if, for example, Blessed Dollar have been collecting 20,000 naira from everyone that is here today, the recording, do you know, you can also then make people study, get trained, use the same content for 1,000 naira, because then it is computer that will be teaching them, not him, not us again. We have created the content, and the content can be reused all the time. Operations of a business, manufacturing, I've talked about dark factory before, warehouse, inventory, appraiser, publicity, recruitment, sales, marketing, payment, collection, agreement drafting, and even agreement signing, banking, referral, etc. Is there anyone that cannot be digitalized? The answer is no. There's nothing that cannot be digitalized in this world again. Even a whole factory can be turned to dark where robots are working there, right? But also, as I said, not everything can be digitalized, because there will still be some processes where human discretion is necessary, especially when you do man-to-man interfacing, okay? Then you need human being. Now, there are core considerations before you embark on journey of digitalization. You need to set a good vision. You need to understand why you are in business and where you are going, all right? If you don't know it, oftentimes, when you digitalize the process, many of the bureaucratic processes will disappear. Now, it will allow organization to add more value to the customer. But if you are not careful, you could deviate away from your vision if you don't stay focused on it. You need to understand the digitalization process itself, and then what will digital business mean for your organization. You need to look at your management. How ready are they for digital transformation? How IT aware, right? How IT aware where are they in terms of skills and competence? How IT ready are they in terms of their mindsets, right? What kind of growth are you expecting, right? And then how much of understanding of your customer do you know? If you don't understand your customer and you digitalize, you could actually kick them away at the end of the exercise. So the principle that is proposed for digitalization is that you look through your organization, look for processes that are simple. Processes that are simple as in when you get to the office, you will log in, right? After you log in, you will check your calendar to see what activity you have to do today. You will ask your supervisor, okay, what am I supposed to do? You will do, in all those simple processes. If you automate it, system will do it. So you just get to the office, you log into your system, and without asking your boss, you see all the tasks that are there for you to do. All the invoices you are supposed to raise today, all the customers you are supposed to call, all those ones are simple. Logical processes are, look, if I pay you, you are supposed to give me a receipt, you know. That is a logical process. That kind of a process, you don't need human being to do it again. You can automate or digitalize it, such that once you pay and the system acknowledges money, computer can send you a receipt to customer. Processes that are repetitive, right? When a process is repetitive, you do it all the time, is a candidate for digitalization. Also, expert systems. There are a lot of SMEs that suffers this because you are a very good fashion designer. You have spent 20 years, you know, doing the design, and you are successful. Now you want to transfer, you want to employ people, and you want them to fit in and work like you. It's always very, very difficult because as the entrepreneur or the SME head is sitting down, an embodiment of 15, 20 years of experience. Now you recruited somebody in 1-2 years and you expect him to perform. And a lot of people will just get frustrated. I cannot get good results. I cannot get. So the old solution is break it down to small modules, right? You create content that will teach people and make them an expert. Okay, so expert systems is an area where you need to employ digitization. High precision process, for example, let's assume there's in our business, we have to submit quotation to an organization by 4 p.m. or on or before 4 p.m. And it's precise, after 4 p.m. you have lost the opportunity. Those kind of process requires digitalization. Things that have to do with customer delight, especially when you are dealing with customers that are IT aware, all right, that cherishes digital interaction is also a good one. Then problem areas. There are a lot of SMEs who believe that people steal their inventory, that people steal their, people will sell and they will not they will not collect the right money, or they will overbill the customer. All those areas are areas that are usually allow you that are good candidate for digitalization. So when you're asking the question what, why, and how, these are the areas that you should focus more. What will that do? That is, if you can take off all the repetitive, logical, and simple processes, if you can automate all your expert systems, if you can do high precision process, it can allow you to focus on what matters. You can then be asking the question, what is next? How much value can I add to this customer? What additional value can I give? That means I raise the potential or capacity of the organization to add more value, right, to the customers. Now, these are key success factors. For every robust digital transformation strategy, there must be a strategy and a plan. And that must include your strategic objectives. There must be key initiatives to achieve those objectives, and there must be human and financial resources required to complete each initiative. You don't want to start a digital transformation journey and you don't have budget to complete it. It's going to fail. There must also be a business case. And I'm saying, if you have a manual system that is working perfectly, customers are happy, competitions are not doing the same thing, you think if you automate these processes, not going to give you a competitive edge, not going to lead to revenue, not going to lead to operational efficiency. Why do it? So you need to create a business case that if I go on this journey, what matters to me, either revenue, operational efficiency, market share, something that will be seen as benefit must increase. That is when digitalization or business transformation will be seen to be successful. Okay, so key initiative and objectives, scope and approach must be well stated, expected deliverable and business outcomes, and then cost and benefit must be well articulated. Then processes and priorities. I've given a framework for the processes that needed to be automated or to be digitally transformed. Okay, process and priorities are very, very important in that, because you cannot change everything in a business in one day. We normally use a 2x2 matrix where you put in impact on the x-axis and effort on the y-axis. So you, at the beginning, you look at activities or tasks, right, that have very high impact and low effort. Some people call them low-hanging fruit. That is where to start. Okay, and once you can finish with that quadrant, you go to those that have low impact and high effort is the one you actually trash them or do those ones last. Okay, that have high impact and high effort. So you prioritize how you move around the quadrants. Then the change management. You also need to do an impact assessment. If you are a cleaning business and all the people working with you are illiterate, all right? When you are going to do digital transformation, you need to try the kind of technology you have to use, because you need people to use it around you, okay? You need to work around communication training and how you are going to coach and hold the people. And then resistance management plan. Most of the time, once you start digital transformation, employees are scared. Some people will believe, hey, our guy is going to sack us, so our work don't finish. You know, with all that, you need to envisage that employees will see this and communicate appropriately. And then governance. How do you going to, from top to bottom, how are you going to go through and make sure that the digital transformation journey is successful? Sometimes you need a consultant to take you through. And what they normally do is to look at the current state, what you have as you have it today, looking at the standard operating procedure of every business unit, review the current strategy of the organization, benchmark your strategy and your standard operating process with similar institutions, do a lot of analysis, even prepare a transformation strategy document where we will consider the business case, like I said, the change management plan, the governance and all that. Okay, then that will be presented to you for to the management for approval. After which the change management itself starts. So you select vendors. If you are going to choose many vendors, you build the IT platform, you train people on how to use it, you develop a funding plan. If you have to raise money to do the transformation, then you also need to do internal training for people to be competent on using it, and then hand over. And then it did not just stop there. You need to regularly review that you are still on the journey is impacting your businesses in the right way. Because you will have spent a lot of money. We have seen a bank that invested on a big ERP system, and after 2 years, they have to reverse the process because they're just spending money and is not achieving the results. So let's talk about the barriers, things that makes digital transformation to fail. The first one is poor change management strategy. You of course know that all the people working with you, they are not IT aware, not IT learned, and you did not make enough hand holding and training, right? And coaching, because training is not just coaching and even challenging them. The exercise will fail. Okay. Somebody call it, let me tell you now, is resistance management. You of course know that the people that you are working with in your organization will resist this plan, and you did not make sufficient plan to overcome that resistance. The whole thing will fail. Sometimes, especially companies that are very liquid, do make mistake of, okay, because GTB is using Microsoft Dynamics, then we must use Microsoft Dynamics. We don't have to look at whether it's appropriate for us. So sometimes complex software and technology can make the whole transformation journey a failure. Driving adoption of new tools and processes when the employees, the customer are not ready for it can make it fail. Now, this is the most complex one. Whether you like it or not, the consumer's tastes and expectation are changing. Somebody who is afraid of doing online business with the bank, one day bank will force him to do online business. You thought this man is a bushman, he cannot do online transactions. So you choose not to transform your own business. All right. You'll be shocked that one day this man will just buy something on Jumia, and he will have a good experience of it. You know what he's going to do? He's going to look at your business again and say, this old business, this bushman business, you are calling me bushman before. He's going to turn the table, and you are going to be the bushman business that cannot do online because he's been educated, because he has experienced it, right? So the consumer needs, consumer taste, consumer expectation is changing, and it is important that you survey and you check it clearly. Lack of clear digital transformation strategy, okay? Sometimes when you do digital transformation, you free yourself up of many of the bureaucratic or many of the things that bog employees down in the office. Now, that time that is freed up, what are they going to use it for? If you don't use it, if you don't encourage them to use it towards satisfying the customer more, giving more value to the customer, giving better value and a better experience to the customer, you realize that people will introduce bureaucracies even into the technology. Lack of proper IT skills, security concerns. Now, if you put a lot of people don't put servers in the office anymore, you got to host it in the cloud. Yes, there are enough technology that can protect you, but you also need to know that there are risks associated with online hosting. Budget constraints, you should not allow budget to finish while you are still implementing, so you must have appropriate funding for it. Culture, mindset, and fear. In the organization, the expectation of the managing director and the IT department, sometimes they are at war. The MD wanted digital transformation, but the MD is looking at the cost because he cannot overspend money because he wants to declare profit at the end of the day. The IT unit wants to use the biggest gigabytes because there is a iPhone, what do we have now, 14. While iPhone 11 can do it, iPhone 12 can do it, but iPhone 14, because that is the latest in gigabytes. That is what, you find out that this conflict exists. You get into account department and you say, look, man, let us do an adjust. We're going to transform every year into digital form. So when customer pays, instead of you to collect the money, issue receipt, then go and post into appropriate ledgers, system will collect the money because they're going to pay remotely online, and then the system will do all the debit and credit and post into all the ledgers. So you would just be analyzing data for us. That is success for the managing director. But for the head of account, the man would think, okay, when computer do everything now, waiting call remain. We're out of job. So you realize that while you are articulating success, you also need to allay the fears of the employees. Some common risks and how to mitigate them. Sometimes you realize that you are implementing and staff are left in the dark. That is where you hear things like, me, I don't know what MD wants to do about this, or something, I don't know why this one. And customer will complain, I don't know, it's the IT people, so they will passing the buck. So we need to ensure communication commences early and communication is consistent. We must ensure driver for change are clearly articulated. So organization must say, this is why we are changing, and provide clear contact points. In fact, we say that in every department, there must be somebody that is called digital champion, who, because not everybody can go to the MD to say, oh God, I did not understand how to operate this machine. But if you train and overtrain somebody in every unit, and you call him a digital champion, they can go to their peers to learn easily. Now, weak participation and visibility of a project leader. You must be sure that the executive involvement, the tone at the top, the MD or the whoever owner of the business must be well involved. The value of the DS project is not understood or recognized. I said it, to an IT person, the value to the customer is not important, but the guy wants to go out and brag that we're using iPhone 14 in my office. We are on Phantom processor. Okay, you have to articulate why the project is taking place, and ensure benefits are realized through appropriate measurement, and then it's clearly articulated. Nobody knows who is running the change. It's also not impossible that the MD creates the thing and it does not put digital champion in charge. There's nobody that is running it. So you need to create change agents and mobilize them appropriately. Now, overloading or start with different initiatives and tasks. The biggest trouble is usually you have conceived digital transformation as a process that needed to be implemented, but the staff are doing their work manually, right? After some time, you now say, okay, guys, the next 2 months, we are going to do parallel run. What does that mean to employee? They're going to be doing the manual and they'll be doing the automated. You have just doubled their work. So sometimes it can lead to overload and it can kill the interest. So it's something that is a very delicate trade-off. It's important to do a bit of double entry or double run, parallel run, but it must be very short and you must migrate them to the new system so that they can gain the advantage easy. Then knowledge gap of staff on new solution. Ensure that everybody is trained. You need not just training, you need training and retraining at all time. Now, let us do some imagination. Imagine that you, as the managing director of or the SME owner, you get to office one day and you take up your computer, not even your computer, your phone, and you open an application and you see your bank balances today, real time, correct, accurate. You see all the customers that you are owing or that are owing you, accurate. You see all the tasks for today, all the customers you are supposed to call, all the invoices you are supposed to issue, etc. You see all the outstanding tasks that your staff are yet to deliver. I mean, they are supposed to go to Kano, they did not go. They are supposed to issue invoice for a customer, they have not issued it. You can see all outstanding by your employee. You can see the size and amount of your inventory. You can see all the outstanding receivables. You can see the status of all tasks and projects in your company. How will you feel? All right? Don't you think you're going to be an effective and a much more successful entrepreneur or an SME? Because these are the things that bogs down the head of entrepreneur or SME head. You want to make purchases today and you don't know the bank balances. All right? You are short of cash and you don't know even the age analysis of your receivables. Which money is due this month? Which one is due 3 months ago? Which one is due last year? So you know where to apply your pressure, okay? Outstanding tasks, you can look through the whole list and know which employee to harass to make sure that they deliver on their tasks, okay? Inventory is a common point of loss for many organizations if it is well managed. It's good to have inventory, but when things started to go bad in the inventory, it becomes loss center, okay? So if you can have visibility into it on the same desk from your phone where you are seated in your house, how much of efficiency do you think it will bring to you as an entrepreneur and to your organization? Or is an organization where your employees can work anywhere? So the system you are looking at on your phone is the same system you are looking at your computer. If you are in US or you are in Abeokuta or you are in Ogbomoso, it's the same system. And it's paperless. You don't need to refer to anything apart from this system I'm looking at. How happy, how efficient do you think your organization can be? Applying for cash advance and retirement online. So when the employee wants to travel to Kano, they don't need to come to the office and fill paper. They don't need to see an accountant. All right? They just complete the application online. He moves it to their supervisor wherever he is in the world. He approves. The MD approves. Accountant pays. All right? Progress of project. So somebody went to Kaduna, and after he has finished his work, he will update his report on the system. And immediately the MD can see it, even without calling or without him traveling back to Lagos to now sit down, come and give me a brief on what happened in Kaduna. And then you start a long story, which is just a waste of time. Or file and retrieval of documents online. So you are in Kaduna, and the man said, no, we don't believe your agreement covers this thing you have come to do. Hold on, sir. You go to document management, you fetch out the agreement, and you show it to him there and then. How effective do you think such an organization can be for staff to issue quotation and even to issue invoices online? And all these are possible using a mobile app. So possibilities, this is my concluding slide. Everything that I've said about is possible. Platforms are getting cheaper now. And I know that there are a lot of platforms that can do 60, 70, 80 or what an average SME does for less than 400-500K per annum. In a whole year, you won't spend more than that. And you are not going to use paper. You are going to use your invoices online. You are going to collect your money from your debtors online. You can even make your purchases online if your supplier accepts such. Okay, so platforms are becoming available and they are getting cheaper, but it requires priority. You cannot change everything in one day. You have to be gradual, and you have to be deliberate about what to automate or what to transform at this time. It requires discipline. So you as the SME owner, you as the entrepreneur, you as the managing director must be disciplined to use the system. Because if you don't use it, you cannot force everybody to use it. And computer is something we call it garbage in, garbage out. So if the employees don't feed, you will not have data to access for your decision making as a managing director. It also requires strategies that needed to be reviewed regularly. Sometimes you run into trouble. You have designed the system to work in this way, and then suddenly the employee, Japa, is it Japa we do now? Japa, you go to UK. And for 3 months, you cannot get an employee to fix that role. It means you have to break that role into two. Get 2 people to do the job of 1, okay? Because you can't get all these skills in 1 person, all right? That means you may need to change and review your strategies immediately, or you realize that, okay, when the part of the process is that they make photocopy of payment, and when after making the photocopy of payment, they take it to another department to show them that are paid. Now that we have the system, you can take out that process because this officer can confirm from the system that this man has paid. So it requires constant review of it. It also requires change management, strong change management, because everybody, you need to carry everybody along. Don't forget that when you start your business as an SME, you are usually the messenger, the MD, the driver, the consultant, in fact, many people, you are even the manufacturer alone. But as the business grows, you have to delegate because you cannot do everything. And as you are delegating, you employ an accountant, you employ a production manager, you employ a supervisor, you employ a quality assurance officer. They are all now working together as a team. You've got to carry everybody along, know their deficiencies, support their deficiencies, and punish if possible. You know? So you must make sure that for every digital process transformation, you must reduce your cost and you must increase operational efficiency. Whatever cost is to your organization, it must reduce. In other words, all these 2 things will lead to revenue, which is what every organization is meant to achieve. Thank you very much. That's my journey through the if you see, I started with a definition of thing. I took you through the categories that are available. I took you through the 3 fundamental questions. I took you through the drivers, what drives digital transformation. I took you through the core consideration, things you must understand before you start the journey. I took you through the principle of selecting which tasks to automate. I took you through the strategy and the critical success factor. I took you through the typical implementation approach. I also took you through the barriers to digital transformation. I explained common risks and how to mitigate resistance on them. And I took you through an imagination of a perfectly transformed business to show you that it is possible. Thank you very much, guys.